friends. This is Wheezy from the What is True podcast. Hope everyone is doing rather exquisite. This is a small clip, and if you fancy listening to the entire episode, please visit the link tree below. This is due to the heavy censorship on this particular platform, so I hope you guys understand and hope to catch you on these other platforms. Much love. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the What is True podcast. Just did a show on the alleged moon landings. Hope everyone enjoyed that. I'm still feeling a little crispy and wanted to do another show. I want to thank everyone that tuned in to the Marcus Aurelius episode that we did last weekend. Didn't do that great on Rumble, but goddamn, people listen to it on the podcast players. It's already in the top 10 of my most listened to episodes in 1 week. And so I'm super grateful for that. It was a show where I poured my emotions. And the reason I covered Marcus Aurelius while everyone else was covering Charlie Kirk was because of that. And seems like things are calming down a little bit more with the Charlie Kirk stuff. So I wanted to give my thoughts. Some people have asked me, what do you think now? What do you think now? Because I did a show shortly after it with my boy 7Cs, and I had said over and over that I don't know what happened. I hadn't made my mind up one way or another. The only thing that I had made my mind up was that the official story was not it. It was too much bullshit going on even then, immediately in the aftermath. And now that we're a couple of weeks out, the bullshit has just reached a crescendo, at least for me. And my thoughts on it now is that the whole thing was fake. I know when I did the poll a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people said that they believed the official story or that he was taken out. So by me saying that I now am in the camp that it's fake, I'm in that minority, even with my own listeners, and I get it. So I'm going to try to lay out my case. And as I usually do, I ain't trying to tell you how to think. Y'all can think however you want, but I'm going to tell you why I have reached this point. Again, a lot of it has to do with the amount of bull. Just to recap, when the Charlie Kirk stuff happened, me and my boy 7Cs was instant messaging each other. Like, holy shit. We were talking about a whole different topic. And all of a sudden he's like, holy bro, Charlie Kirk got shot, and I think it's real. And I messaged him. I may even screenshot. I'll even show, well, I don't want to show our private messages, but I can prove that even right there, like, well, as soon as I seen the video and the blood gushing, I go, these were pretty much my exact words. If this is real, he's dead. You can't come back from that. All the blood gushing out of his neck and shit. And now, a couple weeks later, we have so much more information. And the information only leads me to conclude that the whole thing was bullshit. And I know it may be to the behoovement of some people that I say that. And so, to each their own. If you wish to unfollow me or get triggered by me thinking this, then, it was good having you here. If you would like to hear why I reached that conclusion, then more than welcome. And if you still disagree, by all means, like I said, I don't ever try to tell people how to think. People can only think the way they want to think. And unfortunately, some people get offended by people's thoughts and the way people feel. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to give you the way I feel. And I'm not trying to anger anyone or piss anyone off. But my suspicion that there was a lot of bullshit happening even from day one was there's no way a random person was going to take these lengths of going on top of a rooftop and taking a precise shot to the neck from such a distance away. That was my first red flag. I'm like, this is a professional hit if it was real. Again, caveat, if it was real. And then shortly after, we heard from Cash App Patel and that Utah guy, district attorney or whoever the was, both emphasize that the suspect was found out 33 hours after this alleged shooting. 33 hours in symbology is massive. So that was a massive red flag for me. Like, it couldn't have been 36.347 hours. It couldn't have been 34.356 hours. But 33 hours. And that's when it all started to really start to unravel for me. I'm like, man, there's a lot of bullshit. 33 hours. And then seeing the widow first give her shout outs near the casket of Charlie Kirk. I want to give a shout out to Turning Point USA for this and giving shout outs. Who the does shout outs in a funeral? And then during the ceremony, they had pyrotechnics, fireworks. Get the out of here, man. Massive red flags almost immediately. Preceding the alleged assassination of Charlie Kirk. And then when you think about Charlie Kirk as a person, he was an actor, just like a lot of these social media influencers are. Candace Owens, Alex Jones, they're all actors. Charlie Kirk was a actor. Here's this good-looking dude who uses exquisite rhetoric when engaging with the public. He's a actor. Once you start realizing these are motherfucking actors, then this whole fakery shit starts to make more sense. And I realize some of the new listeners I may have lost at this point. But if you're still with me, follow me real quick. You probably can't fathom that they would fake killing someone in front of all those people. I just did a NASA moon landing show with the Apollo detectives where they faked sending humans to the moon to untold billions around the world. They broadcasted it, quote unquote, live from the moon. They had Nixon calling from a landline up in space. But you have a hard time thinking that they would fake an assassination. No, Weezy, but this was different. Tell me how it was different. Now, initially, when I didn't question, I questioned the official narrative immediately. Where I was in limbo in my mind was this faking 100% or was he taken out? And I wrestled back and forth. And part of the reason why I wrestled back and forth was because Charlie Kirk had made a change. He started criticizing Israel. And the reaction of the crowd. Unlike the Trump assassination, where the crowd sat down, didn't do a goddamn thing, didn't record the angle where he allegedly took the gunshot, making me deem the Trump assassination attempt as 100% verifiable faking. I have offered to debate Trump defenders such as Jason Baby Burmis. He declined. I offered to decline, or I'm sorry, I'm a little buzzing. I offered to debate John Cullen. He declined. All these big motherfuckers that think Trump actually took a gunshot won't debate me. What does that tell you? They're scared as shit that I'm going to crush their little fairy tale story and unravel it. That's what that tells you. So I don't believe any of that fuck. But what made me entertain the thought initially that maybe the Kirk one was real was the crowd reaction. People were scattering. It was chaos. People were screaming. But that was in the heat of the moment. 2 weeks later, we have lots of footage. We can slow down footage now. I put a clip from a show I did with 7 C's on Facebook. It ended up getting 1.2 million views, thousands of shares, thousands of comments, nearly 10,000 likes or reactions. And now, if I'm being completely honest, the reason I was allowed to get 1 million shares on that clip I did with 7 C's was because I was promoting the idea that there was another shooter. And so I was had. Because in a similar vein to the Trump assassination,